All right, so we want to talk about what features are revealed in all of the various forms of a quadratic equation. So first, let's just review quickly the three forms, okay? We've got either, it's called standard, or general form. And that's where you have it in the ax squared plus bx plus c, okay? In this one, you look here at C for the y-intercept, okay? So it's either going to be at that positive, or if it's a minus C or a plus a negative C, it's going to be at that negative spot on the y-axis. We've got vertex form, where we've got y equals, so I guess I should have written y equals on this one, a, again in the front, times x minus h squared plus k. And that's where hk is the coordinate of the vertex. So notice that the h value of the vertex is subtracted and the k value is added. And then the last form that we have is factored form. And we never actually defined a form, but it would look something like this. Y equals a times x minus r1 times x minus r2. And that's where r1 and r2 are the roots. Okay, so this is what we know about these forms. Notice also that the roots are subtracted. So if the roots are negative, it's going to look more like x plus something, because if r1 is negative, it would be like having x minus negative 2. So that's going to turn into a plus. So you're going to have to think about the opposite when you do the roots, as well as the opposite when you think about the x value of the vertex. So when I look at our test, I see that the first one is in factored form. And there's something else that I didn't talk about, is that you can look at the beginning of all three equations at that part that's a, and this is the same in all of the equations. You can look there to know two things. So you look at a to know either if it opens up or down. It opens up if a is positive, and it opens down if an a is negative. And you can also look here to see if it is going to be stretched. That would be if a is greater than 1, or shrunk if a is less than 1. Okay? So what I notice is there's no scale factor and there's no negative, so I do know that it's going to open up, and I can say that a equals 1, which means no stretch or shrink. I also know the roots because this is in factored form, and remember I'm going to go opposite, so I know that the roots are 4 and negative 6. When I look at the next one, I see that it's in vertex form, so I can take this value and this value, and I can find the coordinate of my vertex. Okay, so I'm going to go opposite of this one, so I know that the vertex is at positive 1, and I'm going to keep the negative on the y. So I know that the vertex is at 1, negative 18. I also see that the scale factor is a positive 2. Positive means that it opens up. The 2 is greater than 1, so that means that it's stretched by a factor of 2. Okay? And then the last one is in general form or standard form, which means that I can find the y-intercept. I just look for that last part, the c term. So the y-intercept is negative 10. And I see that it's a negative scale factor, which means that it opens down. And it's a 3, which is greater than 1, so it's also stretched times 3.